Welcome everybody to another episode of Ready, Set, Pop. My name is Mariel Basori, all the way from Mexico City, and I'm greeting here my beautiful, wonderful co-hosts, Lucas Apache from Brazil and Mauricio Sierra from Colombia. Hello, guys.
Hey
Hello,
guys, how are
Mariel.
you?
Hello, Luquillas. How are you guys?
It's
Hello,
so good to
great,
see
very
you.
excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
very,
we
very good to see you.
we are really excited because this episode it's gonna be really fun. This is a topic chosen by our friend Lucas, and it's all about the Disney Channel singer girls. So I want to ask you, Lucas, why did you choose this topic?
okay. Well, I really love the Disney world, the movies, and when I was a kid, I didn't have the Disney Channel in my television for a while, but here in Brazil, an open channel, SBT, had this contract with Disney. So we had a lot of the shows of Disney in different seasons, of course, like always behind, but it was on. And later, I had the chance to watch the Disney Channel. Actually, I was kind of older, like 15 or 16, but I don't mind. I grew up watching this, and the music was always part of my life.
Great, great. Yeah, I know that Disney Channel has given us a bunch of singers, and that's today's episode. Talking about those
Yes.
singers that made it big, those who didn't make it so big, and those who uh, went into a different genre, not just pop, but R&B, which is what our friend Mao is going to talk about. So first, we're going to start with Lucas, who's going to give us a little hint about what what is the Disney Channel, what created the Disney Channel, and those popular singers.
Totally.
So yes, bring it on, mi Luquitas.
Yes, let's do this. Well, first of all, I always like to start in the very beginning because there's always history before the boom of things that we are talking here. So the Disney Channel was launched on US in 1983 in the 80s. And the music was always part of this, and we are focusing now on the girls of this universe. Of course, there was some guys too, but there's a lot of artists, so we are focusing on the girls. And we gotta say that probably the first Disney Channel girl, I don't know if you guys know that, but was Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas and the Wild Orchids. We mentioned her girl group in the last episode, but she was part of this show Kids Inc. in Disney Channel. She was the youngest in the show, and she was part from the very beginning. I believe until the end. It was 6 seasons, so she was from the youngest to the oldest in the show, and she already sang on this. There was other stars already in the show, like Martika, the singer from the 80s, and Jennifer Love Hewitt was part of this too. The R&B singer Shanice was part
Mm-hmm.
of the show too. So it was the very beginning. And after this, in 1989, I believe, they made a revival of the Mickey Mouse Club. Mickey Mouse Club was on air since the 60s, I believe, on TV, not on Disney Channel and other channels. And this revival is the most famous that we know, uh, with Britney, Christina, uh, Rona from En Vogue was on this too, Nick from the girl group Innocence, and the boys that you guys already know. So Britney and Christina uh, are part of these Disney Channel girls too. Uh, Let me see what else. After the Disney Channel uh, became a hit channel in the USA, they launched the radio Disney. So the music started to be like a huge part in the Disney world because uh, this radio Disney was playing the current singles and the hits of the moment, but he they were always focusing on the Hollywood Records and the Walt Disney Records. Hollywood Records is a company alongside with Disney, so they released a lot of artists. And the first act to sign it with this was a group that was part of the Mickey Mouse Club called The Party. I
Party.
believe Maria knows that. Yes,
Yes.
they had like moderate success because Disney Channel was a cable channel, so they were on the charts, of course. The Billboard Hot Hungry, the album was on the charts too, but nothing huge like we are going to talk in a few minutes with other artists. But it was a start, and the Disney radio had to change some lyrics. I think this is a very famous thing in the radio because they wanted to play like the big pop stars, and it started to become a thing in 1999 when the pop team became like the mainstream, the music everywhere, and it was the same year that the Radio Disney became national. So all US started to receive the AirPlay with Disney Radio, and to make this appealing to kids, they changed lyrics. So if you guys look online for Genie Navarro Disney version, you can hear a little bit. We don't have the full track, unfortunately, but the lyrics are different, and that happened with most of the songs back then. Like "Oops, I Did It Again," when Britney said, "I'm not that innocent," they changed it, and Jessica Simpson's "Irresistible," the lyrics are very different because she's talking about virginity. So they made the lyrics very differently. And with the Radio Disney, start the compilations from Disney, like Radio Disney Jams, that you can find a lot of those versions in this, and also Disney Mania, like this one that I have here, where the pop stars of the moment covered songs from the movies of Disney, like Beauty and the Beast and Mulan and movies like that. So it's very nice compilation. So a game changer for this universe was Hilary Duff. She was on air with Liz McGuire in 2001 until 2003, and she wanted to be like Britney Spears. So she asked for her manager to make music, and it was perfect for her because Hollywood Records uh, was part of Disney, so she had a deal, and all the Disney stars kind of start like the same, making a song for some soundtrack. In the case of Hilary Duff, for her own soundtrack for Liz McGuire, the song "I Can Wait," to kind of see how the audience would receive that, and it was very good for Hilary Duff. She released the soundtrack for Liz McGuire, the show here,
Oh,
with the song, and there's songs from other artists like Play, Jessica Simpson. Actually, is the Irresistible version in this album, the different one. And then she recorded Why Not for the soundtrack of the Liz McGuire movie. And it was like breaking walls because the music video was on MTV. So back then, it was very usual for you to see some Disney music video only on Disney Channel, like in the commercials or some shows, I don't know, but not on MTV. And Why Not was on MTV, and Hilary Duff started to be on TRL and other shows, and the radios started to pay attention, and it became like huge when she released her official first album. First, she released a Christmas album, Santa Claus Lane, that I have here
Yes.
somewhere. Oh, here.
Which
In
she hates, by the
2002.
way.
oh yeah.
She hates it.
2002, yes,
Yeah. Yeah, she hates
it's,
it.
it's not a good album. I'm a huge Hilary Duff fan, but it's very childish. And I'm very happy that she re-released this in 2003 with a bonus track song, What Christmas Should Be. That is actually good. So this song is more Metamorphosis, Hilary Duff that we know. And she released her official album. I have some versions here. I will show the Brazilian version for you guys of this album that I love so much. And she was number one on Billboard. And it was huge for Hollywood Records because they never had that kind of impact on music. So they were very excited and making the money on Hilary Duff to make that happen. And radios were playing So Yesterday, and at first radios were playing the Disney girls, but not so much. So Hilary Duff did very well, like in the charts with So Yesterday and Come Clean, but with not that huge promotion in other radios. They were playing, but that became like bigger later with the other girls. Hilary Duff was a pioneer in
Yeah,
everything. She was like the model
the
for
queen.
those
Yeah.
things to happen. Yes. So this model of a girl who has a show on Disney Channel and makes music starts and happen with girls like Ellie and AJ,
Mhm.
Raven Simone, the Cheetah Girls from the movies, later Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, Vanessa Hudgens, Bridget Mendler, Demi Lovato, and we kinda have Lindsay Lohan this package because she was not official Disney girl, but she was in a lot of movies, like Freak Friday, that is a Disney movie, and she
Yes.
recorded a few songs under the Hollywood records, like the soundtrack for Freak Friday. But when she released her own music, she was not this Disney world. She released
Yeah.
it from Casablanca Universal Records, and she was doing different things. So we have in this moment again the Britney Christina thing going on with Hillary and Lindsay Lohan, like putting them against each other, and especially because they dated the same guy, Aaron Carter. So that was very,
Rest in peace.
Rest in
yes,
peace, Aaron
rest in peace,
Carter.
Aaron.
Yes.
That was very pop world, pure pop
Yeah.
world, like
Pop
Yes.
Hillary,
culture.
Lindsay,
Yeah,
Aaron.
totally.
Yes, totally. And that moment in time is amazing. So the Disney Channel thought that Hilary Duff was like the biggest thing, but I don't think they were imagining what was about to come because Hannah Montana was a great surprise for Disney because they made this fictional singer with Miley, and suddenly this girl with a wig was number one on
Mm-hmm.
Billboard in the albums and sold millions of records. And she had even a top 10 hit on the Billboard Hot Hungry as Hannah Montana, not Miley Cyrus. I'm talking about Hannah. And in the same moment, 2006, Disney released the High School Musical movie, which was had the record for the most view movie in a cable channel back then. And Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley Tisdale became like superstars in the same moments. Vanessa signed with Hollywood Records too, as the other girls. A fun fact is that Ashley Tisdale didn't. She released songs under this label, of course, with the High School Musical, and a lot of songs like she made a cover of Kiss a Girl from The Little
Mm-hmm.
Mermaid, which I love, is very pop rock. But she went to Warner
Werner. Yes.
to be more, yes, she did that to be more pop, or to be more free, to be more sexual. But to be honest, that didn't work it because Disney was like behind her in everything. So I don't know about the contract or something, but the video for He Said, She Said of Ashley Tisdale was, she didn't release it, the original one. Disney made her change it, everything.
Mm.
So the one that is on YouTube, on DVD, is not the original.
Oh.
For the original, we only have photos of her in a club. Basically the same, but I don't know why they thought it was very mature for the audience, so they changed it. Also, the lyrics on the radio is very different. So it was that. And after Hannah Montana was big, of course, they turned Miley into another product. So you guys can imagine that Disney had two different products making money over one person, because it was Hannah and Miley Cyrus releasing music together and selling a lot of records. And in this era, it starts to change the things with the radios. Little by little, Miley started to gain attention in the radio. So for the next girls, happened the same. So the mainstream were putting those girls side by side with artists like Rihanna and Britney and other artists that were not from the Disney world. It was very common to see the girls on MTV or VMA and things like that. So we have like a holy trinity in this era with Miley and then Selena Gomez and then Demi Lovato, all of them in the same format. Like Selena Gomez was in the Wizards of Waverly Place. She released songs and soundtracks and then her music. Demi Lovato appeared in a compilation and then on Camp Rock with Jonas Brothers. And suddenly she had her own records. And they were like, boom, big everywhere. All the kids and the teenagers loved them. I remember when I saw Selena Gomez for the very first time on TV, I was watching Disney Channel and Wizards of Waverly Place premiere on TV. And I was like, oh my god, she's different, because the character was not like Hannah Montana was all about I gotta hide myself and I gotta have a cute boyfriend. And later, Demi Lovato was very silly in her show. It was a comedy, very I didn't like that show. I'm sorry for the fans of Demi, but the character of Selena Gomez was kind of mean, and she was very human. Like she had the bad side, and she was very comic, ironic, and I fell in love with Selena, and I started to pay more attention on her. So, like every formula tends to go high, uh, suddenly it goes low. So the thing continues to happen with different girls. I believe the next one after Demi that we can talk is Bridget Mendler. She was on Lemonade Mouth, also on Wizard of Waverly Place, and she had her record. For me, she was like the last to make a little bit of noise. They did a record with Zendaya that Mal will talk later for us, and then Sabrina Carpenter um, in the last case of this, and we had a different pick of this with the Disney Plus that we can say that is Olivia Rodrigo, but for me it's not the same formula because she was part of the High School Musical, the series, like the main girl, but media started to pay attention on her with her official first single, Driver's License, when she was part of Disney Channel like a lot of time. So I don't believe Disney was the reason why Olivia was big, but of course the drama with Sabrina Carpenter and Joshua Bassett help it, as was like Hillary Lindsay and Errol Carter. It was a formula all over again. I don't even know if I believe that story was real because it was
Yeah.
good for all of them,
For
you
media,
know?
yeah.
Yes, like Sabrina Carpenter never had a top 50 on Billboard before, and she released a song about this, which is Skin, that I love, and suddenly she was on the top 50. I don't believe it was very good for Joshua because times changed, and the bad boy who made
No.
girls cry is not like well seen anymore. So for him, it was not that good, I believe. But for the girls, was good. I really love Olivia Rodrigo. For the artist, current artist, I believe she's the one that I love the most. I even have the CD, and I don't have a lot
Oh,
of nowadays albums. But this is very good. It's very 2000s pop rock, so I really like this. So I wanted to talk in general because all of those girls have moments like highs and lows that everyone knows, like Demi Lovato on Rehab, Selena Gomez with Justin Bieber, I don't know, or her a lot of issues that she had, and she speaks openly, which I'm very proud of her. Miley Cyrus with
Mm.
every Miley that we have in every album is a different one. So Hilary Duff with the movies and everything. So I just want to say how important those girls are in the pop culture in general since the beginning. Like, if we didn't have Fergie back then, Britney, Christina making the Disney Channel name being like so important, we would never have Olivia Rodrigo. So it's very important to make this general comments. And a lot of
Yes.
girls in these shows like recorded music because Disney was on fire. Like Hilary Duff has a friend on the TV show, Make the Girl Sing. Hannah Montana has a girl, Make the Girl Sing. So there's a lot of girls who weren't the main girls or weren't in the charts, but releasing good music. And Marielle had a few examples for us that I'm
Oh,
dying to
well,
listen.
thank you
So
so much,
please,
Lucas.
Marielle, tell us all
First
about
of all,
this.
I just want to say I wasn't a huge Disney Channel fan. Why? Because like I was telling you before the show started, I was in a very, how you call it, time absorbing school back in the day. So I always had a lot of homework. I always arrived late to my home. I had tutors because I was really bad at math. And that school was half Mexican, half Japanese, so I had to learn Japanese too. So I had a tutor for Japanese, so I was never able to watch TV. Once I was done with all my homework, I had to go take a bath, have my dinner, and go to bed. That's it. So I wasn't so much aware of what was going on TV back then, and I was only able to watch those shows and whatnot on the weekends. So yeah, it was a shame. And once I changed school, it was a lot easier for me to start watching these shows because I had a little more time. But now that I have more time to do my research, I didn't know until a few years from now that some of the girls that were part of these shows, and not just about the popular ones like Hillary or Raven or Selena Gomez, also those who or Miley, yes, some of those girls that also sang were part of these
Miley.
shows that didn't make it so big. And I'm gonna start talking about Lalaine, who was part of Hilary Duff's show, Lizzie McGuire. She released an album. I have the name here. Hold on, called Inside Story in 2003, and it was like really bad. From well, when it comes to critics, they gave it like really low stars. It didn't receive very good. It wasn't very well received. It only released. She only released one single called "You Wish," and a couple of years later, she released this song called "I'm Not Your Girl." But she was never like so popular, and she was, let's just say, she was behind Hillary all the time because people was relating her to like, oh, she's Hillary Duff's friend from the TV show, but she wasn't never really big. And well, it's a shame. I have heard some of her songs that are not that bad. She's more into a pop rock um genre than just pure pop. But she didn't make it big. And then we move into Christy Carlson Romano, who was part of the Even Stevens TV show from Disney Channel. She well, the thing with Christy is that she released an album called The Greatest Hits from Disney, TV hits and stuff. She released some of the songs from Disney popular movies, as well as unreleased songs like a song called Divin' and Let's Bounce, which was featured on The Princess Diaries too. Um, she had very low success. Her album didn't sell much, and well, she was dropped from her record label, and she was never able to release a full-length album with original songs. So it's a shame because she's good. She's a good singer. She later released some songs on MySpace, but never a whole
Yes.
album with a different label. So yeah, shame with Christy. We also have Anneliese van der Pol, who was part of That's So Raven. I believe she was Raven Simone's best friend on the series, right? I think yes, she was. Chelsea. Yes, she recorded a
Yeah,
lot of songs too
Chelsea.
for the Disney
Yes.
Mania and for other soundtracks like called Over It, Circle of Life, A Day in the Sun. Some of those songs featured Raven, but never a full-length album. Her songs are out there, but you can actually go YouTube, find them on YouTube. So if you're wondering what she sang, but she never released a full-length album. We also have Sarah Paxton, who was part of who was a guest on the Lizzie McGuire show and The Wizards of Waverly Place. She did some movies too, but not on Disney, and or I think she did. I don't know if Aquamarine is from Disney. I don't think it is. No, no, it's not. No, I don't think so. But well,
I
No.
don't think so. But she was
oh
in
yes,
some movie
Halloween Town.
of this.
She was signed to a record label, but the president of that record label got fired, and so when another record label absorbed that one, she was dropped and never got to release music. So shame. And finally, we have yeah. Finally, we have the Academy Award winner,
Yes.
Brie
It's a shame.
Larson,
Yeah.
who didn't have a TV show on Disney Channel, but was part of a movie in 2003 called uh, Right on Track. Right on Track, which was with Beverly Mitchell from Seven Heaven. She released an album. She did release an album called Finally Out of PE, which we have already talked about on our Pop Rock Girls edition. That she sold like very low copies and she didn't get a lot of reception. But she was really good. She was a like a pop rock singer out there. And those are the ones that I can tell you about that weren't so popular. Lucas already gave us the names of those that were really big. But I do believe that Disney Channel was a big platform back in the day for girls to be worldwide known because it was the Disney Channel effect was huge. I mean, we received
Yeah.
a lot of music from these girls. We were, like surrounded by them. So it was great. It was great.
No, and a few cases that you mentioned are very specific because, like with Lalaine,
Yes.
she was like the first trouble girl for Disney Channel because
Because
she had some
she had some
problems.
legal issues or something like that.
Yes, and when she released the music, Disney wasn't like supporting her anymore. So maybe that's the reason why she wasn't that successful,
No.
and she was not even in the Liz McGuire movie anymore because of that. And with the Christie, Christie
Yes.
talks a lot about this in her YouTube channel. I don't know if you guys ever checked it. And she kind of tried to understand why she didn't make any music because she was the one with a good voice and she made some Broadway and off-Broadway shows singing. And for me personally, that was the problem because her voice for me was not that pop, was very mature and very different from the girls. I don't know, but she had like her manager not wanted to help her so much with that. And if you guys watch the videos for
Mm-hmm.
sometimes Disney Channel made like We Are the World with all of them. Like Marielle mentioned, Circle of Life is one of the cases when they put all the Disney stars together, and they did it with A Dream
Mm-hmm.
is a Wish Your Heart mix of Cinderella in 2005. And Christy says on her YouTube channel that her clothes were very cheap and very without personality. You know, you had Raven like very strong personality, and you have all the other girls. And for her, here is your here's is your outfit, and she was like, I will never make it with this. So there's a lot of levels in the
Mm-hmm.
stories. Such a shame because we want all to succeed, of
Yes, I
course,
mean,
but
sometimes you can make
never
it and sometimes you
is like
can,
this,
and,
right?
sometimes a little mistake in your life, like Lalane's being a trouble girl. You know, Vanessa Hudgens was also in trouble when she took some photos,
Yeah.
and those photos were leaked, and she was, half naked and well, in lingerie, I think. And Disney was
Yes.
also very, oh, totally naked. Yeah, it was with she
Totally.
sent those
Totally
photos to
naked.
Zac
Yeah,
Yes.
Efron. Those photos were
with Zac
leaked.
Efron.
It was a mess. So people, I mean, Disney Channel's producers were starting like, "You are a Disney girl. You can't do this." So it it was a little crazy back in the day because nowadays it's normal to see girls
Yeah.
showing off, but to see a Disney girl doing that was like a real trouble. They were like, "Oh my God, why you are part of one of the most successful movies out there and you're doing this?" So yeah, they've have had
Yeah.
like their ups and downs, like you said, Lucas, but we've had very good music from these girls and different because like you were mentioning
Yeah.
Disney Channel, well, Radio Disney was changing the lyrics to their songs, so those listeners wouldn't feel so sexualized, and we can have some innocence from those singers and not just what
Yes.
with the music that Christina or Britney were releasing that was a little bit more sassy and naughty, and they were trying to protect childhood somehow by releasing singers that were really innocent and pop and just like everything is good and we are funny and we're young and just pure and innocent stuff. So that's why I love these Disney girls. But now we are going to move to Mao, who is going to tell us all about those girls that were from the Disney Channel but made it into a different genre, and we're talking about R&B. So Mao, it's all your turn.
Thank you, Mariel. And I think these girls were, of course, R&B, and I call these girls like the group of black girls, to be honest, because it's like the black girls from the Disney Emporium or the Disney industry. I think it's very important to talk about this in this moment because right now, for example, we have Holly Bailey as the main character in The Little Mermaid. So it's important to highlight these girls that these black girls that were part of this huge, huge industry that make a lot of artists that my friends mentioned. I think Hilary Duff is like the queen, and I think it's important to clarify that we are talking about the 2000s girls, because of course we mentioned like Britney and Christina were part of this, but in this time we are talking about like, as Lucas said, Hilary Duff is like the pioneer, and the other girls were like the followers after all of this success of this young lady. So I'm going to talk about Raven Simone. Raven Simone. I'm not like a huge. Uh, I don't know very well about her catalog or her career. To be honest, I like her. At that time, it was not as Mariel, maybe in a different way, but for me, it was not easy to have the opportunity to see this channel because in my parents' house we didn't have this channel. So we you had to pay at that time for have this channel. So in my house it was not possible. So I had the opportunity, of course, to know shows like Lizzie McGuire and Hilary Duff, but not from Disney, maybe from other channels. So I didn't have the opportunity to watch, for example, Raven. So Raven, that was a huge product at that time, a huge program at that time. But
Still is, still is.
it still is. It still is. Yeah, I know. But I have to say, I admire so much this woman in particular, because at that time she had a lot of like problems dealing with her weight, her color of her skin, her sexuality, and this woman was so brave to face these kind of things. At that time, they wanted to become this woman in like a pop sensation, but of course, it's obvious that if you have black girls working for Disney, of course, these girls has had these roots from the R&B and B and from the soul and from the urban music, and of course, it's part of them. So they wanted to do something like that, and maybe for Disney it was not so marketable, like so like syllable to call it in a way. So for example, in the case of Revi Simone, you can hear her first album, and of course it mix some pop and R&B tunes, but it's mainly pop music. It's not pure R&B. And in this moment, she was one of the most successful shows and the most successful artists. But I think even when Raven was first, was before Hilary Duff, for example, Hilary Duff was more marketable, was more sellable to the audience and to the kids audience in the United States. So for this reason, of course, all the attention at that time was about Hilary Duff, and maybe it was not so easy for people like Raven Simone to have a lot of success, or the same success in comparison to Hilary Duff, for example. So because of her weight, because of her appearance, because of her look, because of her color of her skin again. So I don't know, Luquitas, if you want to add anything about Raven Simone.
Okay. First of all, I agree with you that she's very brave because her background story is like a very cliche but sadly true with very of young artists because the parents were kind of making her to work and making money of it. She started to work like with 2 years old. I don't know, with 3 years old, she was already acting in some TV shows. And actually, you talk about the first album. I believe you were talking about the first album under the Hollywood Records, under
Yeah.
the Disney. Yeah, because
Yeah. Because sorry, I forgot to mention that she released an album when she was a kid, like in the mood
Yes.
of Missy Elliott and very rap and hip hop and this kind of vibe.
yeah,
Yes,
But yeah,
because
I was talking
she
about
she
the
was
released
the
part
one
her
of
first
with
album
the
with five
Hollywood
yes,
Records.
years
she
Yeah,
was
old.
part
thank
of
you.
the Cosby
Yes,
Show back in
she
the
was
day, and
a kid,
since that
and
show was
Missy,
that show was very popular, and so they decided to launch her as a singer too.
Yeah.
But
yes,
she was
Yes.
a baby practically because she was like really young.
Yeah.
but she had the support of queens like Queen Latifah and Miss Elliott. So it's a fun album.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny to see a little girl rapping and stuff. And in 1999, she released a second album. I don't know if she had a label back then, but she released it like the single had a R&B version, a pop version, slow version, a lot of versions. And then she released music with the Hollywood Records, the Disney channel. And I agree. I believe maybe they don't put a lot of money on Raven's career in music, but the show was already making history because she was a black main girl in a Disney show that was huge. And back then was the first TV show to have 4 seasons on
Mm-hmm.
Disney Channel. The first thing that happened, and now she's back with Raven's Home, like a spin-off, and the show is already in the 60 or 7, I don't remember now, seasons, so it's like crazy. and she took a while to understand who she is as a person. If you watch like her documentaries on YouTube or interviews right now, there was a moment that she couldn't see herself as a black girl, and she always understood that she was gay, but she wasn't able to talk about this or feel comfortable in talking in public about this. Now she's married with a woman, and actually they are making a podcast together.
Oh,
There's a lot of to talk about this ball. Sorry, because I'm a huge fan of Raven Simone. I'm very proud of her, so I can talk a lot about this. But I know you have
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
other
yeah.
girls to talk,
No,
so please.
it's okay. It's okay because that's the reason I was like calling your attention and trying to get some help from you because I know that you are a very great fan of this woman. So as I told you, I'm not a huge fan, not because I don't like her music, of course I do, but it's because maybe I don't know her very well. I don't know her like her catalog and her music very well, but I
Yeah,
admire her so much. And I think if we are talking about like Hilary Duff as a pioneer, I think Raven was another pioneer, like the equivalent of another example and influence for other black girls trying to make it real in the Disney universe. So
yeah,
and I want to clarify too that of course we three love the product and the company, but of course we have something to say about it because obvious not it is not perfect. What of course it's a company, it's an industry, it's like about money, of course. So for this reason, sometimes this kind of companies has to make some decisions about these young people. So sometimes it's not the best for them. So of course we love this product, but at the same time we have like an opinion about it.
yeah. Well, but
Well,
you are totally right. Just let me add that Raven broke the mold so much that she wasn't planning to be the main girl on Ravens. She
mm,
was supposed to be the best friend of the main girl. The show will call Totally Psychic, another name, and she was about to be Claire in My Wife and Kids
okay.
TV show. And they changed it. They called her and said, "We want you as a main girl, and we are changing the name to That's So Raven. So it's your show." And so her talent and her talent uh, broke the mold and made like the color and everything disappear. So it's very beautiful story.
Yeah, and talking about it, I think it's so important the representation that all races, human races, have in this kind of shows. Because, for example, for us as Latinos, maybe we didn't have a lot of representation in these shows. Or, for example, La Lane, I think she's from Mexico or have
Yeah,
No,
Mexican ancestry.
she's Filipino.
Yeah,
the
but
character it is. Yes.
but the actress no.
But you know,
Mariel?
I have Filipino roots and we all look the
Okay.
same. So,
Yeah. Okay.
because
I was sure that
Filipinas,
she was Mexican
the
or something like that.
the Philippines were also conquered by Spain, so they were mixed. So that's why they
Yeah,
look
very similar.
kind of the same
It's
to
very
us. But
similar.
yeah, she's Filipino. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Okay.
Selena Gomez's character was from a
Mm-hmm.
Mexican family. She
Oh,
made the
okay. Okay.
quinceañera,
Okay.
and she was more representative in this show later.
Okay, okay, and that's why that was the reason that it was so important, like a person like Raven Simone, that I think she was a black girl and she was maybe not like the skinny girl in her features, and in her body she was different, she was more real, I think. It was very
Yeah.
important to have this kind of representation for kids. So I said it because I am Latino, and of course for me it's so important to see this kind of characters in these kind of shows, like a representation, because it's not common. Because all the time you are seeing like the white girl or the white boy, and it's important the representation. And Of course, it's because I love R&B, but I'm talking about it is because of that. It's because I think it's important the representation in this kind of shows. The other girl I want to mention and I want to highlight is Kiki Palmer. She was part of the cast of Jumping. This was all my research. I have to be honest, and I'm not very familiarized with these movies. But I like her so much. I like her music so much, actually, and her albums and her product because she's very R&B, and in that moment, she was a character called Kiki in this movie. Sorry for the audience if I'm making any like wrong information. You can put in the comments if I'm wrong. But what I have this character called Kiki supposed to have her own show, but it was not possible to pick up this show because of the Hannah Montana so because of the Hannah Montana show at that time. So they preferred to launch Hannah Montana instead of this show with Kiki Palmer. So another example of this again, because I think they look for a more marketable product, a more marketable girl, like making doing pop and not making doing some R&B or soul, because of course it's easier to sell this kind of product instead of an R&B or urban product that it's like that it's only for a part of of the people. And
Okay.
yeah, another girl that I really love and I love her music nowadays is Coco Jones. With Coco Jones, the example is like very big because she was part of Let It Shine. And I think the problem with this girl, or the problem they had with this girl, was she was a dark skinned girl. So at that time, she preferred, of course, if the girl is not white, they prefer to a mixed race girl or a light skinned girl because it's more marketable. In an interview, she said that one of her or her first song that she released at that time was something for the DJ. I don't know, Luquitas, if you remember. Ready for the DJ or something like that? No?
I don't remember the name. I know the
Yeah,
song, but I don't remember the name.
yeah. This song was like a huge fight to be released because they didn't want to release an urban or an R&B song. And she write and she had at that time like her record was like ready, and they reject at that time like because for them was very R&B, was very urban, so they didn't want it.
To support her.
They didn't want to support this kind of work, yeah, because it was so R&B. So in an interview, she was very like at that time it was very frustrating for her because she is an excellent songwriter and an excellent musician, and she's very real, and I love her music right now.
Yes. She's
So
gorgeous.
for
She's so beautiful.
yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah, yeah. And at that time it was like very frustrating for her because she had like her CD almost done, and they rejected like they declined her idea. So another that is huge right now and is one of my favorites to be honest is Zendaya. And with Zendaya, it was funny because at that time she was in Shake It Out with Bella Thorne, and Bella Thorne was more popular than Zendaya, and Bella Thorne was like the favorite girl at that time and the it girl at that time. And for Zendaya was so difficult, but at the same time it was great. And she said like for her it wasn't no so difficult like for example in comparison to Coco Jones because of the color of the skin again, because she's a mixed
Yeah.
race. Her skin is lighter, so she said a sentence that I like so much, and she said that of course she understands the privilege that she has because of her color of her skin, that is mixed race, that is lighter. But at the same time, she supports so much her dark skinned sisters, and she wants to be in their shoes, and she understands perfectly that these girls had going through, like that had to face and that had to deal with, because it's very difficult. For example, Coco Jones, it was not the same. And
Yeah.
she released this album that is called Zendaya, that I also love. And she released this song Replay that was huge at that moment. It was a very
Yes.
successful track, and it's great because it was R&B. It was pop, of course, but it was very R&B, and her moves, and I love her dance moves, and
Yes.
she was
It's very
great. And
catchy, very new.
yeah, yeah. Actually, when I saw Zendaya for the very first time, she reminds me a lot of Aaliyah in her dance
Oh.
moves. Yeah, it was very similar for me. Like she's this girl, even in her voice, she had she has a performance, a live performance with Mario, the R&B singer, and they are singing "Let Me Love You" by Mario, of course. And her voice is like very similar to Alia's voice for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. And she was considered to be the main role in the Alias movie, the Princess of R&B, that was at the end for Alexandra Shipp, but at the first time it was Zendaya. But it was a very clever decision for Zendaya not to participate in this movie, because this movie was a mess, was like a fail, a totally fail, a flop.
Okay. Good for her.
So yeah, good for her. And I want to highlight Zendaya because right now she's huge in the movies, and in the movies that she's been participating. She's huge,
Yeah.
and she's one of
But we
the.
miss her music. She should release
Yeah,
more.
yeah. I love this album, and then she had another song with Chris Brown that I love, that had the sample of a TLC song. So yeah, I miss her so much. She's making some music for Euphoria, I think, that
Yes.
I also
I think
love.
so.
Yeah, and Zendaya, I love that what she is like, like what she represents, not only in her race, also in her like in her message for people. So
Yes.
yeah, she was a very important part, and I think it was like very important to consider it, that it was not because all about Disney. It was all the success that she has right now is not only because her participation in the Disney products, is because she's a great actress, and she's a good
Yes, the
singer too.
talent. So, Mao, it's really good to see those girls moving forward with her career now, because maybe the girls wasn't on the spotlight like the others, but longevity and talented is very important too in this industry. So we can see Zendaya, as you said, making huge movies like the Spider-Man and things like that. And we have Coco Jones on Bel Air right now. I love her character. Hillary is very, very fun. And Kiki Palmer also make huge movies, and she has her own show now, I believe, like a talk show, right?
Yeah, and
So
she's a motivational coach or something like that, and it's amazing, and
yeah,
it's.
Oh,
so
Yeah,
they are doing great, right?
yeah.
And
yes.
Maria
So,
wanted to say something about one of those girls.
Oh yes, Mao was talking about Zendaya working with Bella Thorne, whom I forgot to mention before. She also recorded some songs. I made an EP actually called Jersey, which isn't like so good.
Huh?
I was thinking that since they were having so much success back in the day, they were like, okay, since you are having success, you are going to release some music, do it now. And just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sing some songs and stuff, but not very well produced. I think it was more like a rush to release her as a singer too. But
Yeah.
I think that they needed to take more time to make a very good album for Bella because she had like a lot of how to call it, like a different character for a Disney girl because she was the redhead. She was skinny,
Yeah,
so she had the chance to be different from the other girls. That they were like, okay, since you are successful, release some music and just like that. But I think that they
Yeah.
needed more time to focus on her music career. That's it.
and I think they released the Bella Thorne music at that time because maybe they thought, because she was like the favorite, maybe they thought
Yeah.
that she was gonna be successful at the very beginning, at the first try.
Yeah.
So wow,
But as
what a
Marielle
surprise!
said, he
Because
wasn't good.
yeah,
No.
what a
No.
surprise! Because Zendaya was the
No.
one that was very successful in the
Yeah.
movies.
Yes,
She
it's like
only has one
it's a
song that I
cheap
like, and
production.
it's for some movie that she did later. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
totally,
it's a
totally.
cheap
So
production. Yes, I
and
I have it here on my
just
phone.
to end.
Yes, here it is.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
I
I
got
have
to
the
check it
EP.
because I never heard about it. So
It's not very good.
to end it, just to end my intervention about the R&B girls, I want to mention Vanessa Hudgens because I have the CD, so I want to mention her. So in this case, as Lucas said, she was huge because she was part of the High School Musical, and of course, oh,
Yay.
yay! This shows that she was one of the popular ones because we have the CD, and I read somewhere that she wanted like a dance album, and they when they had her music to be released, it was like more R&B, and it was good for her, but she didn't want to make R&B music, to be honest. She wanted to do like a dance pop album. So I think it was because of she was not blonde, maybe, and at that time, some other girls like Rihanna, for example, was huge, and start to make a very great deal in the radios and in the music industry. So they thought at that time it could be work for Vanessa Hudgens to make an R&B album. But that
Yes.
was all because that was all. She was good at that time, but not the greatest.
Yeah, and Ashley Tisdale sold more than Vanessa, the album.
Oh,
Yes, I
okay.
love
There you have
both.
it.
Actually, Say Okay
Oh.
was, yes, was a huge, huge, um I have to.
Yay!
I
I
love.
love this. And
It's a
Say
great
Okay
album.
was like one of the most played songs in Brazil 2007. It's crazy.
Oh,
Uh,
really?
yes, even now if you play Say Okay somewhere, everyone will sing here in Brazil. But
Hmm?
Ashley Tisdale sold more records. Ashley Tisdale was
Yes.
5 on Billboard 200, and this album by Vanessa was 24.
Oh,
So it's
Yes.
very
incredible. I
different. But
didn't know about that.
I believe you love the song Vulnerable from the second
Yeah.
album. It's very
I
R&B, right?
love it. Yeah, I
I
love it.
love it
And
too.
yeah, it's funny because you mentioned that song, and it's my favorite song from the second album. And I love Say Okay. It's like actually
It's the best.
I had this song to in my to ring in my alarm every morning. because it was very like in the mood, not a very like loud song. It's very in the mood
Uh,
to
it's
wake
smooth.
up.
Yes.
So I had said okay for my ringtone alarm. It's funny.
Dun, 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 dun. Sounds
Yeah.
like a alarm for wake up.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, eh,
So, guys, I have the. Sorry, Marielle. Please,
no, no,
please
no. I
say
was
it.
going to tell you that Say Okay is a better alarm than the one I have, which is We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off by Clea. So I think it's better.
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is that
Okay.
song? What is that song? It's like
I
a
mean,
upbeat song or something like that.
it's just that it starts like with
It's
like some
Marielle. It's Marielle.
jingles.
You know it.
Yes, I will send it to you in a minute, Mimo. But it
Oh,
starts like
okay.
so yeah. So that's why I listen to
So
it to
you
wake
gotta
up.
wake
So
up. Yes.
Yeah.
yes.
I hate to put that kind of songs in the alarm because it's like, oh my God, you're freaked
I
It
out.
never use
Yeah.
happens.
songs because I'm going to hate that song. So it's only the regular one.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Now,
But
sorry, Lucas.
talking about songs, I have our I have our game now. Maybe
Yay! The
Great.
best part.
I believe it's not going to be that easy for you guys, but I want to see you guys thinking. Don't worry about the time. I can edit later so you guys can think.
Okay.
So
Okay.
let's do this. I will do differently. I will say mine first, so I give you guys time to think a little bit
Okay.
more. So the first one is I want to know your favorite song by a Disney Channel movie or TV show, or maybe a Disney movie in general, but has to be in some soundtrack. Mine is Vanessa Hudgens' "Gotta Go My Own Way" from the High School Musical 2. Is my favorite. I love that song. And here in Brazil, like Say Okay, it was huge on the radio, like very well played and very popular. They play it as a Vanessa Hudgens single, not High School Musical. So it is my favorite ever. I want to know first, Mauricio,
Okay.
because I believe you already know yours because you are like this. I want to talk. I want to talk.
Yes, yes, yes. It's easy for me because I mentioned the R&B ones, the black girls, but I have to say the one that I love the most is Hilary Duff, and of course it's "What Dreams Are Made Of" by Hilary Duff in the Lizzie McGuire movie. I love
Yes.
that one. I love Hilary
Hey
Duff.
now.
She's
Hey
my
now.
queen. I love her. Yeah. Hey now, yeah, totally, totally.
Great choice.
The ballad version with the guy. I love it. I love it. I love
Yeah.
it.
Sing to Me, Paolo is a classic.
Yeah.
And yours,
I
Marielle.
love it.
I don't know. Let me know if it counts. But I love this song called Perfect from the Pixel Perfect movie. I wanna be perfect just like you by Hookapoo. Does it count
Yes, I
as
think
a
so.
song from a
Yes,
movie? Yes,
it
because
Uh,
it's
counts. It
part of it.
counts.
It by Hookapoo. I love that song. Just like you. I love that song. Pixel, which is
Yes,
Picture Perfect from the movie Pixel Perfect.
yes. I love this movie.
uh,
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
next one. I want to know you guys ranking the Holy Trinity from the 2000s, Miley, Selena, and Demi. For me, is Selena Gomez at first. Demi Lovato, I don't know. It's hard even for me. I believe Demi Lovato at second and Miley Cyrus in third place. You guys have some idea of this?
go ahead, Mariel.
It's easy for me because I don't like either of those three, so I'm gonna go with. I only like Selena, but
With the one you hate less.
the one I like Selena. Some of her songs, her I would put her in the first place, and I don't know. I guess the second one will be Miley, and the third one would be Demi. I'm not a fan of those two, so yeah. Yeah, that's how I would rank them because I'm not a
I knew
fan.
it would be hard. Okay, go Mao.
Yeah, for me, it's exactly the same. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a fan. Actually, sorry for the Demi fans in the audience, but I sometimes I think I hate Demi Lovato. I can't stand this woman. So I have to say it would be like Selena, Miley and Demi in the same order as Mariel because yeah, I love some Selena songs and I love her
Right.
as an individual. I love her as as a woman, as a person because I think she has something to say and she's different. But
Yes.
I'm not a fan of Miley. I'm not of course I'm not a fan of Demi. So this is my order.
Yeah, selenators in the house. We are.
Yeah. And
Yes, I
we
think she's
all
the
three have Selena in the first place. It's
in the
amazing.
different
Yes.
in the first place. Yes, I know it's difficult because I have never been a fan of the other two, but I
Okay.
gotta say that Miley Cyrus does have a song when she was recording. I think that was recorded as Miley, not Hannah Montana. A song called "See You Again."
I
Uh,
love it too. I love it too.
that's the only song I like. That's the
I
only song I like.
love that song so much. I
It's
love that
enough
song so
to put
much.
her in your
Yeah, see you again.
second
I
place.
was
You're
about to
right.
say
Yes,
the same thing.
So
I love
it's
that song.
crazy, Mimo. It's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah,
now
because
I will
we
make it easy, okay, for you guys. So I wanna know
Okay.
your top three, ultimate top three from Disney Channel girls overall. So you can forget about the ones you don't like. For me,
Okay.
would be number one, Hilary Duff. Uh, Number two would be Ellie and AJ. Uh, Number three, let me check my list. I believe it would be. Mm, oh God, it's kind of hard right now. Ellie and J, Hilary Duff, and I would put Selena on three overall. She's my favorite too. So
Okay.
that's it. And you guys,
Um, Mao or me?
whenever, who's ready? Who's ready?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm
Go,
ready.
Mao, go.
My number one, my queen, I love her, Hilary Duff. Number two, I would say Zendaya because I was so attached to her album when it was released. And number three, because of her work right now, because I love her music right now, Coco Jones.
Great,
Okay.
Marielle.
Obviously Hillary. Love Hillary. I
Yay,
love her.
our queen.
I have her
Yeah,
albums.
yeah.
Yes, love her.
Yes.
Yes. Um, the second one would be uh Vanessa Hudgens, and
Hmm.
the third one would be Raven.
Oh, really?
Yes, I love
Yeah.
her album. Her This Is My Time album is amazing.
Uh, I'm so happy
Yes.
to know
Uh,
that. Yes. If
yeah.
you we were talking about the actress part, for me, Raven would be number one. So I love her
Mm,
too. But in the
yeah.
Yes,
music,
she's great.
maybe the fourth. I don't know. Next
Mm-hmm.
one. I saw you guys showing some CDs, so I want to know what's your favorite item in your collection of a Disney Channel girl. I really gotta see what's mine right now live with you guys because I never thought about this. I decided to make this question right now, but
Okay.
I believe it would be this version of Dignity of Hilary Duff that is very beautiful.
Ah,
Oh,
Edition
it's
love it.
beautiful.
from
I love it.
Japan.
Love it so
Yes.
Yes.
much.
I
Yeah.
love this one because there's kind of a little book inside with a lot of photos. I'll try to show you a little bit of this.
Yeah, yeah.
There's like a lot of
Oh,
photos of Hillary.
it's
Oh,
Yes.
beautiful.
And
wow. It's
also, yes,
very
very beautiful.
beautiful.
There's a
Yes.
DVD and a bonus track with remixes. So it was a gift from a friend, Rafael.
Oh,
So
okay,
it's
okay.
very beautiful. And I
I
have a
love
lot
it.
here in my table, but I believe this one is the most beautiful in my collection right now. So, and yours,
Hmm.
Marielle?
I don't have a lot from those girls. Like I mentioned, I have Hilary's collection. So I would say that my favorite from all would be Dignity too. I love this era from Hilary. I think this album is flawless. I went to this concert, which was amazing. She was perfect.
Yes.
Uh,
Oh,
she did it
wow.
so amazing back in the day. So I think this is my favorite era by Hillary. It's not a special, this is the regular one, but this is the one I cherish the most
Mm,
from my
Oh,
collection.
I
Special for
love
you,
it.
Yes.
yes.
Yes, it is. Mao?
Yours, Mal.
You have a big advantage here because even when Mariel says she doesn't have a lot, of course she has more than me. So in this time I have to choose this one because I only have two. So in this time I have to choose Hilary Duff. I love that. I love this album. This album was part of my teenage years. In the high school, I was listening to this album like I was obsessed with Hillary at the time. So it's this one for me.
Yes, but I'm sure it's special for you. And now that you show this, I noticed that this is the US version, like the regular
Yeah.
one. And I have a lot of versions of this, like Japanese and everything, but
Wow.
I don't
Oh
have this one
wow.
that is more simple.
Uh, I have
It's
this one
So
that
funny.
I
was a
gotta
It's
have
gift
it.
funny.
from Mao. This is a gift
Yeah.
from me, Mao. Yes.
It's Mexican. It's Mexican version.
This is this is the
I think it's the
Mexican
Mexican
version.
version.
It is Mimao, it is, and he sent it to me as a gift in my 30,
For
33
her birthday.
birthday, and it arrived as a surprise, and it was beautiful. Thank you, Mimao, because this is the one I was
Oh,
missing,
it's
and you noticed
beautiful.
when you visited. You noticed when you visited my home that this is the one I was missing in my collection, so thank you.
Yeah,
This
it was so
album is
weird
very
for
special.
me. Yeah, it was so weird for me that Mariel doesn't have this album because I know that she loves Hilary Duff, and in that moment I was like, Mariel, you don't have this album, and she was like, oh no, it was not possible for me to have this album. I never find it anywhere. So yeah, I knew at that moment it was the perfect gift for her. So yeah.
Yes, of course it is. Okay, so
Yes.
the last question is your overall favorite song by those girls. Mine is very easy, and maybe it's yours. I don't know, but it's "Come Clean" by Hilary Duff. It's like one of the most favorite songs in my entire life. It's like I believe it's the
Mm,
third most played track in my last FM ever. Only
okay.
loses to Michelle Branch and Stacey Rico, so it's
Oh.
huge for me. Yes, Marielle, I believe you already know because you are like,
Um. No, yeah, it's not Come Clean. It's actually a song by Hillary, but it's not Come Clean. It's
which
Dignity.
one?
Dignity. I
Yes,
love that song.
Oh,
very
it's a
good.
I love the
surprise.
message behind it. I love how she wants to be described as I'm not as easy or as common as those other popular girls. In this case, referring to Paris Hilton because she always have had fights with Paris Hilton. Um, and I think that song was dedicated to her. But anyway, I love the
Oh,
message. I love
Really?
the message behind that song.
Yeah, Hilary Duff is like the queen of our track today.
Yes,
And
yes,
yours,
and
Mal,
yours.
is coming clean? Is it coming clean?
I was thinking about Come Clean, yes, because I love that song. But to be different, because of course I love Come Clean. But to be different, I would say it's Say Okay, but Vanessa Hudgens, because I was obsessed with that song too, and I was playing all the time, like over and over again. So this time is, of course, I love Come Clean, but this time is Say Okay by Vanessa Hudgens.
Yeah,
Good.
it was the track that you were waking up, so it's very special for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So,
Good.
guys, that was my questions. I just want to show before we go. This CD is from Julie. Is a girl from Disney Channel Brazil. She was in a show
Okay.
Oh,
called When the Bell Rings, the one that Demi Lovato did in US. They made a Brazilian version, and she released this album back then, and I love this album. Actually, we have like the first single is a Portuguese version of a song of Amy Studded that was kind of the Avril Lavigne from the UK, and all the songs has some sample for example, there's a song with a sample of Ellie and AJ No One. Another song has the sample of Things I'll Never Say, sorry, Tomorrow by Avril Lavigne. So it's a
Mm.
very cool album. If you guys want,
Mm,
check this out. I love this girl,
that's great.
Julie.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, very interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
Yes, and that's it. I want to say thank you guys for letting me share my passion for the Disney Channel
No, of
words,
course.
and this was my choice, and was very interesting to see different perspectives, like Mao can perceive this franchise in this universe with some different look because of race and things that should be discussed, of course, and Marielle can share the experience to be kind of outside of this, but
Hmm.
even outside with some things bringing to her good music and good singers and good moments. So it was
And
very
good
nice.
human beings. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
this is
So
great. I
please,
love this
please,
platform because we can all share what we love. I mean, every time, as you can tell, us viewers, every subject is different, and we all pick one a different week. So this was Lucas' turn. Next week will be Mouse, and then I will choose, and then again. But that's why I love this platform, because we can all share what we love and learn more
yes,
from what the others love.
exactly.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I'm not going to say what is the subject for the next episode, but we are taking in count very seriously the audience suggestions. So
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
my selection for the next episode is from an idea that a member for the audience says
Okay,
in one comment. Yeah.
yes. It's very important,
great.
the comments, the feedbacks.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So
Yes,
Yeah.
I
thank you.
I I want you to know that it's very important for us that the opinions from the audience. Yeah, we are taking very seriously and taking in consideration. Yes.
Yes, thank you
Yes.
so much for those who have been watching us, for your comments, for all the feedback we've been getting. It helps us grow, so we can only say thank you. Thank you so much for being part of
Yes.
Ready
And
Set Pop.
please
And
subscribe. Please subscribe. It's
yes,
important.
please.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We
Yes.
already have 40, I think, 40
Yeah. But
Yay!
there's
subscribers.
more
Yeah.
people watching.
Yay.
So that's why I'm saying that it's important to subscribe, because a lot of people are watching us and don't subscribe
Not don't
yet. So
subscribe.
they
Please
subscribe.
Exactly.
subscribe. Please subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah, please subscribe.
Yes. So, well, thank you once again, everybody, for watching us. Give us a big thumbs up, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe to both our YouTube and our Instagram so you guys can check more about what we're doing. And a lot of surprises are on the way. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lucas. Thank you, Mao. I love you so much. I had a lot of
Thank
fun
you.
today.
Love you too.
I love you
Me
too all.
too.
Thank you so much,
Take
guys.
care.
Love you. Bye
Have a
bye.
nice day. Have a nice
Bye.
Take
week.
care. Bye. Have a nice
You
week.
too. Bye bye.
Bye.